You are listening to The Terry Project.
A lot of people think that mental illness frequently leads to violent outbursts. In fact, the evidence says just the opposite. Mentally ill people are far more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators.
When a mentally ill person shoots up a mall or a movie theater, we let that color the way that we understand mental illness. That's just one of the prejudices that Victoria Maxwell is trying to combat. She writes autobiographical plays about her own struggles with mental illness. Victoria was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, otherwise known as manic depression.
Manic depression. Scary. Unlike those cuddlier, friendlier terms.
You're hearing a scene from her play, That's Just Crazy Talk.
You know, batty, buggy, bombing, crazy, dippy, daffy, dotty, kooky, loony, loopy, nutty, screwy, wacky. or the O's, cuckoo, gonzo, loco, schizo, psycho, wacko, weirdo.
Victoria is devoted to educating people about mental illness. She holds workshops and presentations. She works with UBC on a big research project. But before all that, she just wanted to be an actor.
Do you mind if we go back to the early 1990s?
I do if I have to wear what I wore then.
Why? What would that have been?
Matte lipstick and sort of, I don't even know if you know, but the Beverly Hills 90210 old TV show with Jason Priestley.
Yeah.
Think poofy, greasy hair and flannels.
Victoria graduates from the drama program at UBC, and she actually gets work. She says it was a good time to be an actor in Vancouver.
It was sort of the golden years of Hollywood North, right? It was X-Files and...
Victoria gets a lot of side roles playing alongside famous TV actors. People like David Duchovny. Things are going pretty well.
What was your goal? Did you want to be like a famous movie star?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course. You know, I didn't quite go to the part of the handbrush in front of the mirror doing my Oscar speech. But yes, yeah, it would have been fun. But I found out in hindsight, I realized I am not cut out for the TV and film industry. It was really fuel for the fire around my mood disorder.
At first, Victoria doesn't even recognize that she's mentally ill. She thinks of her mood swings as a gift, as emotional range, as part of being an actor. But Victoria is really anxious, and she develops an eating disorder. Before long, depression hits her.
No apparent reason for the beast's presence. No lost love. No dwindled savings.
This is a clip from Victoria's first play, Crazy for Life.
Just a hovering blackbird circling my movements, permeating my entire existence. Depression. Infinite and immovable. Relentless. I hate myself. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. You're useless. You're crap. You're dead. I hate myself. I'm nothing. I'm worthless. You're useless. You're crap. You're dead.
Victoria can't focus. She can't read her lines properly. Things go from bad to worse, and it's destroying her career. Eventually, her agent drops her.
She thinks that these mood problems are just really a lack of spiritual fulfillment. So Victoria gets into yoga, and she joins a meditation group.
Which was sort of cool, except for the fact that I went into a meditation retreat with no preparation. And this is not to say that meditation causes mental illness, or it's a sign of mental illness, but it was an intense meditation, and I went into a psychosis.
Victoria is diagnosed with an episode of brief reactive psychosis, and these episodes keep happening. Victoria said she'd see sneakers running off by themselves, cats pop up and disappear. One time, Victoria runs down the street, completely naked.
I was looking for God, and as I was looking for God, I thought, well, he or she made me. He should meet me as he made me, so I think that that's how I should present myself.
She hoped that spiritual enlightenment could fix her problem, but that didn't work. Neither did psychotherapy or other natural remedies. None of it worked. Her life was starting to completely unravel, and the episodes continued.
Picture it. here I am having euphoric psychotic epiphanies, skipping up and down parking levels like a rat in a maze. And the next thing I know, I'm in emergency, lying in a hospital bed with a pink curtain closed around me. I rummaged through my bed, rifling through the soft blue blankets. I don't know what I expected to find there. Something sharp. Anything sharp. I mean business. Scissors. That should do it, and they must have them. I lunge at a row of cotton swab and bandages I see on a nearby table. The nurse turns and shouts, "Hey, stop that crazy woman." They chase me down, wrestle the scissors out of my hands, and I can't remember exactly how. I'm lying face down on a gurney. Steel safety bars up, both sides. Left wrist strapped, leather cuff. Right wrist strapped, leather cuff. And my butt, cold as Arctic ice, hanging out of what must be the most humiliating piece of clothing known to man, the peppermint green hospital gown. All I can feel is air. Frickin' air. White stockings scuttle past me on the speckled lino, mauve skirts swinging, orthopedic shoes chirping. I crane my neck. A needle, the size of a frickin' 7-Eleven straw, is being tapped by the nurse. Then, wet, cool cotton and jab, a rush of images, regrets, and dreams kaleidoscope, and in that moment, I realize I've gone crazy.
After being admitted into a psych ward 4 or 5 times, Victoria meets a new psychiatrist. All the others had balked at her spirituality. They told her she was just sick, but this new doctor said to her that both things were possible. She could be having spiritual experiences and have a mental illness. This made sense to Victoria, and she started to accept treatment for the first time.
And then she tried to get her career back on track. She came across an arts festival that works with artists who have disabilities. She wondered if her mental illness might qualify her, and it did.
It was not a selfless act. It was, I had good copy. There was a woman running down the street naked in a psychosis, and it could be pretty funny. So I like making people laugh. I like performing. That could be good.
That play became Crazy for Life. It's a show about her experiences with psychosis and treatment, and it's well received. Victoria starts to get requests from conferences to perform the show, and eventually she begins to work with a group called the Collaborative Research Team to study psychological issues in bipolar disorder. They call it CREST for short.
CREST puts out a lot of interesting research. They've designed a quality of life scale and have written papers on wellness tools, and they encourage people with bipolar disorder to help on their projects.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I really love about CREST is that it involves a huge range of different disciplines, but also people from very academic research backgrounds to people with lived experience. And really the focus is this community-based participatory research where the people that help drive a lot of the research projects are those that have the illness, love people who have the illness, or are healthcare providers that deal with people who have bipolar disorder.
In 2011, CREST commissions Victoria to write another play. She gets almost complete creative control over the project. There's just one criteria. The play needs to work to dismantle stigma and harmful stereotypes about bipolar disorder. What are the negative stereotypes that you're trying to dismantle in that?
That people with mental illness are violent, that we can't recover, that we are unemployable, that those are probably some of the top ones.
That play is called That's Just Crazy Talk. CREST actually uses it as a research project. They show the play to people with bipolar disorder and to nurses, psychiatrists, therapists. They test the audience's level of stigma before and after watching the play.
And the people with bipolar disorder noted fairly minor changes after watching the performance, but the play has a much more dramatic impact on healthcare workers.
Oh, and the destination kind of terms. Well, like insanity can be Googled with MapQuest. She's gone bonkers, crazy, around the bend, over the edge. She's not quite there, not all there, not there at all. The tendency to misplace things. He's lost it. The plot, his mind, his marbles. Or the propensity to fall or malfunction. She's off her rocker, out of her tree, off her meds, out of her mind, all screwed up and bent out of shape.
At the end of the study, the researchers declared Victoria's play a useful tool for confronting stigma held by therapists and nurses and doctors.